Hello and welcome to this festive GryphonArt tutorial. I decided that as I have finished writing all my Christmas cards today, I have earned a creative break and consequently I thought that I would show you how to make a Christmas tree decoration. This design does utilise die cuts which I have cut previously on my Sizzix Big Shot, but if you don't have a die cutting machine, you can often purchase pre-cut dies on eBay or from some other craft outlets. Just be aware that they may not be embossed shapes though. To get started, I have in front of me 10 bauble shapes which I have both cut out and embossed. The embossing is quite faint on this particular die, but if I just bring one closer to the lens, I think you should be able to make it out. This particular die cut has been taken from the Spellbinders Shapeabilities range and is specifically the Mix and Match Ornament set, which has a product code of S for Sierra 4-405. I'm just going to try and show you that now. Okay. Incidentally, if you live in the UK, I have found a great website for my supply of die cutters, which is at www.iconuk.co.uk. This company appears to be very competitively priced and they offer free delivery as well, so if you have a die cutter, they are probably worth taking a look at. Now what I plan to do is just create a thicker version of this die cut by layering them together. The number of die cuts you will need depends on the thickness of the card you are using and how thick you want the ornament to be. An additional thing to bear in mind is weight. The ornament will need to have some weight to it in order for it to hang nicely. Right then, let's get started. If I take one die cut and just turn it over, I'm going to move these out of the way so that you can see a little better. I'm going to start by putting some double-sided tape onto the back of the die cut. You will see that the tape only partly covers the cut area, and I really do need to obtain a full adhesion, particularly around the edges, so I will be using PVA glue to achieve this. I use a combination of tape and glue because the moisture from the glue can cause card to distort, and I find that the tape both diminishes the requirement for adding too much moisture and also seems to stabilise the card a little, acting almost like strapping. Right, so I am now going to apply my glue. I tend to put some on the back of the tape so that I have access to a supply without it soaking into the card. I then use my fingers to dab the glue over the rest of the exposed card, like so. Particularly the edges. Turn that round. for a moment. Once I am happy with the coverage, I can remove the backing from my double-sided tape. Sometimes it's more fiddly than at others. Right, with that job done, I can take another die cut and making sure that this new die cut is right side facing upwards. I stick the two together, making sure that all the edges line up as much as possible. You do need to apply a little pressure at this point, but I find I would not advise using a bone folder because you might just find that you flatten out all your embossing in the process. So that's the first layer achieved. I now need to repeat this process until all the 10 die cuts are stuck together. So I'll just do that and come back to you when I've finished. Now that all my layers are stuck together, you can see that I have quite a substantial three-dimensional shape. And I'm also hoping that you can see that it has a reasonable amount of weight to it. You might understandably think that this is a lot like some pre-cut shapes that you can purchase out of board or MDF, and you might also wonder why I have not simply purchased such a shape. The reason for this is that although I have used a fairly solid shape because it is easier for demonstration purposes, you can apply this method to the vast array of die cuts that you have available to you through Spellbinders, Sizzix, Cheery Lin and the like. Many of these die cuts are really delicate and not readily available in MDF form. Now, as with all things creative, there are really very few hard and fast rules, so if you have reached this stage and are happy with the result, you can simply decorate at this point and your design will be ready for adorning the tree. I am going to apply a paint finish to mine just to add a protective layer and to provide you with another option. This will also potentially introduce you to new methods of applying paint.
Thank you for watching part 1 of this tutorial. If you wish to either paint and apply a wash to your shape or view the method I used for my own decorations, please see my other tutorials which will be listed for you next.